Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and we have another new breakdown for you today. It's going to be on Harrison Bailey. He is a freshman quarterback at the University of Tennessee. This breakdown, though, is going to be from when he was at Marietta High School, so it's still his high school film. He's just going into his true freshman season this year. Excellent overall potential, excellent shoulder range of motion, great example of somebody that is able to just naturally have some great shoulder range of motion. And we'll go ahead and hop right into the video here and help you and better understand exactly what I'm talking about. So from the first throw, you can see his ability to really get that arm back. Look at how much he's able to really stretch in his shoulder and his arm during that loading phase, and that's something that's very unique. This is something that is why I really push for people to go into our throwing program, even if it's just for 7 days, just because there's some great stretches that you can learn within that program that will help you in getting better external rotation, better internal rotation. That's probably the most commonly, when people come in and do like the assessment or go through our throwing analysis, that's most commonly underutilized is the ability to get that external rotation. We can see Harrison Bailey does a great job of being able to utilize it here as he's going through the throw. Excellent extension, excellent internal rotation as well, but it really starts with his ability to get the excellent external rotation in the arm. Really, I think that when you go through and you watch him here, this one he does a pretty good job of getting the hips through, and you can see he's really not getting the hips through all the way, right? So this would be one of his better examples of getting his hips through. He does a great job of pushing off, and he gets great extension off that back leg, right, and being able to push off there and gets the momentum going forward. But and he does a great job of keeping that front arm in a really good position. But his front leg rotation and his ability to get all of his weight up onto his front leg is definitely limited. He can definitely benefit from getting some more external rotation, and that would really make it so he could put in the hip, and that would make it so he could put even more power onto the actual throw. But if we look here, this is an example, a great example of when he really gets a lot of, look how far back he's able to really bring that arm back, which is something that is, again, it's very unique. This is something that we only see in like a Josh Allen type of a throwing mechanics, right? So there's a lot of guys that are not able to get this much range of motion, and because of that, they don't have as much throwing power. So he's very natural in being able to create a lot of force within his throw. And he also, notice how soon he's able to get that wrist, so the nose of the football is facing forwards. I know right now it's facing a little bit more upward, but because of the position of the wrist, it's actually facing exactly where he needs it to face it, because as he comes through, he doesn't have to turn the wrist at all. So this whole time from way back here, he's generating power in the arm. And so now he has to really just use his lats and the other under part of his shoulder, and then the momentum that he's already got to make it so he's able to put a lot onto the throw. He doesn't have to use a ton of his body. He can really use a lot more of his arm and a lot more of the rotation in his spine. He's very dominant in using his trunk or spine rotation in order to throw the ball, and doesn't rely as much on his hips, which he could again get more out of his hips. But you can see really on this one, see how far the hips are back and how the foot is kind of off the ground. So he really doesn't have a stable front leg platform, but is still able to generate a lot on the ball because, again, look at how much external rotation he's able to get to. Right, and this is something that I would highly recommend for any quarterback to look at. If you watch yourself throwing and you're not able to create as much external rotation, the big reason that happens is just because you're not as loose as you're loading the ball. So as you're getting that arm back, you want to be nice and loose through this joint here. It's difficult for me. I can't get this external rotation, but I know that that's the way to actually be able to do it, is to allow yourself to get that nice smoothness through your arm in order to make it so the ball can get that far back. Now, I like during his load, we can see he pushes with that front arm to bring that ball back a little bit more, helps with getting some disassociation. Takes a pretty good stride length, might be a little bit long, but to me, not too bad. He's able to push his weight forward. Can maybe get a little bit more extension in the knee, but does a great job of getting extension through the hip, extension through the ankle, keeps that front arm in a great position, and then delivers with that full extension through the arm, full internal rotation of the arm. Really, his arm mechanics are so phenomenal, or so next level, or are on a whole nother escalon that some of the other things that he's doing within the lower body don't really impact him near as much. So definitely going to be fun to watch him this year. Hopefully he can end up getting the starting job at Tennessee. Always good to see true freshmen that are able to come in and make an impact right away. So I'd love to be able to see that. I don't know how it's all going to be this year with everything going on with COVID and everything, but definitely rooting for the guy. And definitely, if any of you guys want to watch this video and able to get better understanding of needing external rotation in their shoulder, in their arm, needing more range of motion within their arm, check out our 7-day program. It's going to help you out. It's 100% free. If you guys want to go from there, we can get you onto our full program, but at least check out the 7-day trial. And we also have a great deal going on, a one-time offer that's going on for our throw breakdown. So if you're interested in that, you get a month of training with that, as well as that throw breakdown, which I think will be really, really beneficial to anybody that decides to take action with that. So all that is in the link below. So if you have any questions, let me know, and we'll talk soon.